Hey guys, my name is Nikki, aka the Dragon Queen, and today I'm doing a twofer, a haul and an unhaul. I was kind of worried about doing an unhaul, but none of the books, except for like maybe one, I'm unhauling because I don't like it. The rest I'm unhauling because I just have no interest in reading them, and I got them for free from a Craigslist ad a while ago. And they've been sitting on my bookshelf for like 4 years, so it's time to get rid of them, it's time to move on. But first, the haul video. Now, there are quite a lot of books here, and this is like over 4 months, because it's been a while since I've done a haul, and I don't think I've done any of these in a haul before. I think I recorded one and then I never put it up, so yeah, it's my problem. So first, we're just gonna get started. I got Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosenay and Her Fearful Cemetery by Audrey Niffenegger. These were gifts from my friend Sharon, author S.L. Perrine. I sent her Splintered, and she sent me 2 books that she thought I would like back. I haven't read them yet, but I will. Then I got The Star-Touched Queen by Roshana Chosky. I got this in a monthly box, so I know nothing about this one. But it looked interesting based off the description when I read it before. I don't really have time to go through everything since there are so many books. Then I bought Aragon, which I've showed in videos before, and I bought the second book for it, Eldest. I had planned to read this for Tome Topple, but I never got around to doing Tome Topples, so I have it. I think I showed the first one before, but I didn't show the second one. I got Patricia Briggs, book 4 and 5, Bone Crossed and Silverborn. I read books 1, 2, and 3, and reread them, I should say, and I'm really looking forward to getting to these ones. I'm hoping to do it in a couple of weeks. I have way too many books on my reading list this week, so. At Books A Million, I got Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I've been hearing so many things about Rainbow Rowell on BookTube. I've been really wanting to read her. I figured I would be interested in this one from what I've heard. I can't remember off the top of my head, but from what I've heard on BookTube, it sounds like amazing and right up my alley. Another book I grabbed, and this was on a whim, was Everland by Wendy Spinell. My best friend pointed this book out, and she's like, "Have you ever heard this book?" And I was like, "No, what's it about?" And she told me. I was like, "Oh, well, now I heard of it, and now I want it." And then I bought it like the next time I went to the bookstore. The next book I bought, and I have read this one, was Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I read this last week or the week before that, and it was really good. It's a graphic novel, so it wasn't that long of a read, but the art's really good. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't read it, you should read it. Evidently, it's also online, so you don't have to buy it, but I liked reading it all in one sitting in the book. Another book I just bought, and this was a recent purchase, was Uprooted. It was buy 2 get 1 free. Uprooted is by Naomi Novik. I've seen this on BookTube again, and it just looks really pretty. It sounded really interesting, plus there's dragons, I think. Oh no, the wizard known only as the dragon, so. But, hey, maybe he turns into a dragon. That sounds cool. A book I bought a couple of months ago was Christopher Moore's Secondhand Soul. This is book 2 of the Dirty Job duology right now. And I really enjoyed Dirty Jobs, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I also got Zodiac. This was totally a cover buy. This one was about each planet is for each zodiac sign. So like a planet full of Cancer, a planet full of Capricorns, and I just was intrigued because I was thinking of a planet full of me's, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be fun. We'll get everything done, but we'll be super passive aggressive about it. Yeah. Another couple of buys in no particular order. I got Supernatural Cold Fire by John Passarella. I love the TV show. I really wanted to read a book by that, or a book with the characters Sam and Dean. I thought it would be interesting. I got Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, Book 1 by Rick Riordan. Again, Book 2, heard everything about this, want to read it. It shouldn't be a difficult read. It is a child's fiction book, but hopefully it'll be fantastic. The next two were my other buy two get one free with Uprooted. Eeny Meeny by M.J. Arledge. This one I thought was really interesting. It's a thriller, and it's about people randomly getting chosen and one of the two getting murdered, and finding out that it wasn't actually as random as we thought it was. So I'm really intrigued with that one. I've been wanting to read some more thrillers, but I've been wanting to branch away from Dean Koontz, because while I like Dean Koontz, some of his books are like same old, same old, same old. So I wanted to open up something. And then I got In the Woods by Tana French. This one, I was having a hard time finding a third book that was free. This one sounded interesting. It's another thriller. It's about a kid who and his siblings who are in the woods, and his siblings go missing, and he's found covered in blood, or with blood in his shoes. And then he becomes a cop, and years later he finds another case similar to that. They find a little girl, and he starts remembering his past and learning the truth about what actually happened that night. I thought that sounded intriguing. Two more books I got, and these were Amazon purchases. I bought these to do a book of the month. I think it was for June, maybe for July. I highly doubt I'm going to finish them in time, but it's Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer was one of them, and The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. The Shadow of the Wind sounded really intriguing. Eating Animals, I was a little iffy about the book. I might read it one day when I'm feeling like reading a nonfiction, but because I won't be able to finish it before the 31st, because I'm participating in Booktubeathon right now, and I have 2 books to read next month or next week, I probably won't get around to it anytime soon. I have one more stack of books I've purchased, and then some freebies that I got on my Kindle. First, I got The Roman Affair by Juliet MacLeod. I'm reading this for Booktubeathon. This is an indie book. So far, I really enjoy it. I'm only 50 pages in, though. I do enjoy the author's writing style, though. Fiona Sky is her other books, and she wrote some fantastic stories in that. 2 other books I purchased. No. Okay, 4 more books that I purchased, and one was a part of a month thing. I got The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Book 1, again, BookTube made me do it. And I got Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Suzanne. I was going to try to read this in Booktubeathon. I don't know if this one's going to happen because I didn't read it all yesterday. I have yet to read today. I'm a little behind, but hopefully I can catch up this weekend. I don't have any plans this weekend. I'm puppy sitting, so reading all weekend. I also have The Book Thief, which I did read. I just finished this 2 days ago, and I cried my eyes out. Yeah, this book was amazing. This was my first book I read for Booktubeathon, which I'll do a video for that and post it up on Sunday or Monday. So good. This book is my most recent. My best friend bought this for me, and that is Genius by Leopoldo Gout. It's called Genius the Game, and we both thought it sounded really interesting, but what caught us was the shininess on the cover. Honestly, you want me to buy your book, put shiny on the cover, and then I'm going to be like, ooh, shiny. But when I read it, it sounded interesting. It follows a game with 200 geniuses, and I was like, huh. Plus, actually, the one thing that really intrigued me when I was looking through it is there's a lot of there's pictures in it, and some of the formatting is a little different. Like, they have this part here, and they have a map. Also, this front cover is gorgeous. Look at that. Or the inside cover, look how pretty that is. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. The last book that, not the last book I got, but I got this one as a monthly box thing again, and that is The Story Spinner by Becky Wallace. I know nothing about this book. It was in the box that I get monthly sci-fi fantasy box of some sort. So I don't know when I'll get to reading this one. I haven't even looked at reviews for it to see if it's something I would be interested in. It's just been sitting on my shelf. These three are the last ones that I got physical forms of. These were gifts from my friend Alicia. I got Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I've been really wanting to read this, especially with all I've been hearing about it on BookTube. I got More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Again, a BookTube buy. And Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alri Senez. Again, a BookTube buy. The one thing I really wanted with all three of these books, I should say, these are all LGBT books, LGBTQIAAP+, or whatever the long version of that is, but they're all focusing on LGBT characters, or they have an LGBT character in them, and I thought that was really neat because I don't read a lot of that, and I wanted to expand my horizons. And there's a BookTube artist that I watch a lot of that I hear, or she talks about books like this all the time, and I wanted to read these for last month's, was it last month or was it this month? I don't know. A year-a-thon does no. I think it's a year-a-thon. They do, they had the LGBT category for their readathon, and I wanted to read them for that, but it's fine. I'll read them. I'll probably try to get to them in August, because I'll at least get one of those a month, because that sounds really interesting. Now, the last couple of books, and I might actually have to separate this now that I think about it, but I got a couple of books. I got The Glass Apple by Robert Franks, Crimson Bayou by Elizabeth Lynn. That was very good. Mate or Die Soulbound. I think that's by Luna White. Something by Aurora Sky. Maids of Misfortune. The Atomic Sea by Jack Connor. These were all free. Now, the next couple of ones I won, or I bought with a gift card that I won from an event on Facebook. I won The Forest of the Bleeding Trees by P. Matson? Is that her name? 8 Deadly Kisses by David Bassinet and Jake something, or edited by, it's an anthology. Wind Up Toy, which this one just looked really creepy. Pal the Zodiac. My screen's black and white and they're really tiny. I don't want to actually load all of them. That's by, the Pal one is by Peter Peter Oliver something. I'll make sure to put all the links to these ones at least, because these are smaller publishers or indie publishing, and I would really like to get those out there. 49 Shades of Vampire, a romantic parody. I literally only got that because I was hoping it was making fun of 50 Shades of Grey. I got book 1 through 4 of the Full Moon series by P. Madden. The Shock of Night, Madarin, that's it. The Shock of Night by the same person. The Andy of the Damned by her and her son. The rest of the Bleeding Tree series. Vampire Princess, The Infernal Darkness by the same person. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like, that wasn't a crap ton. You know what? I might as well just do the Unhaul. So, I organized my bookshelf for the most part, and these are books that have been on my bookshelf for years, and I have no interest in reading them. I don't remember why they were here. I'm pretty sure that 90% of these were from a Craigslist ad that said, I have a bunch of books that I'm getting rid of, do you want them? And that same ad is also why I literally have like 30 Dean Koontz books, and I've read maybe 3 of them. I should read those. So let's get the one out of the way that is going to cause a controversy. That is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I have no intention of reading this. I did not enjoy the TV show. I don't really care about the book. I've watched a couple of episodes because my husband enjoys it, and while it's entertaining occasionally, it's just a little too gruesome for me, and it doesn't hold my interest. And honestly, the books are way too big to keep me interested long enough to focus on them. And I like books that focus on 1 or 2 characters throughout the entire story, not how I've heard Martin does his books. Also, I've heard from a lot of sources, a lot of people that I trust, that it gets better by book 3, and I can't do that. Like, if it's not going to hold my interest in book 1, why am I going to waste my time reading an over 800-page book that I have no intent of enjoying? Like, I have plenty of books to read, as you saw, and that's not even a quarter of my collection. I'm getting rid of Sleigh Ride by Dick Francis. Again, a free book. I don't know why it's on my shelf. I have no interest in reading it. Tom Clancy's Night Moves. Unanswered Cries by Thomas French. Burn Factor by Kyle Mills. Brain Dead by Eileen Dreyer. None of these held my attention. This one, I read and it was good. Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I read the Da Vinci Code, and I really did enjoy the Da Vinci Code, but for some reason I can't get into this one. Oh, there was a paper in there. In the Absence of the Sun by Nicole Valchos. This one, I think I literally only picked up because somebody was selling it at a convention, and I have like an inner want to purchase from indie authors, and while I don't normally get rid of them, after I bought it, I realized it didn't intrigue me, and yeah, it's just Actually, speaking of that, if I'm gonna get rid of some indie books, I might as well clear out some space. Condensor by Curse Berman. This one I bought again because it was at a convention. I felt bad. I wanted to help him out. That Pet Finder Kid Catnapped. I bought this because it had a cat on it, but it's like middle grade, and it's, I don't really want to read it. Gasparilla's Treasures by Scott Clements. I actually read this one, and I gave it a 3-star. Honestly, it might have been a 2-star worthy, but it's middle grade, so I was trying to be friendly. I was hoping that the reason why I wasn't interested in it was because it was for people younger than me, but I don't know, and I hate to be like a jerk about it, but it wasn't like I didn't like it. Hitmen in Paradise by M.J. Hyman is another one I bought at a convention just because I might give away these ones, I don't know. I read this one and it was okay, but Dark Sarcophagus in His Carnival Dark Desires. This is published by What the Fuck Books, or WTF Books, and it has a lot of disturbing things in it. I did read it because it is short. I'm pretty sure that there is some cannibalistic stuff in here. A lot of the stuff that they wrote was cannibalistic, and I did not like it. I got this at a horror convention. I like horror, don't get me wrong, but only in books and only certain horror, like not something like this. I don't know. It was eh. And then the last one, I honestly don't know why I bought this at all, but that was Mooney and the Spider Queen, and it's just like an over-sexualized character. And after purchasing it, like I even got it signed, but after purchasing it, I'm like, why did I purchase this? Got signed by the character that it's based off of. Oops. I'm getting rid of Twin Maker by Sheen Williams. I did read this and it was eh. I gave it a 3-star. I have no intention of reading it ever again. It didn't really hold my interest long enough for me to even recommend it. This is the only Dean Koontz book I'm getting rid of, and that is Breathless by Dean Koontz. I was not a fan of this book. I did finish it. It was a 3-star. It was very meh. The ending was just like, really, like, that's what you're going with? There were so many other ways you could have done that, and the ending was just, it left me wanting something else, like feeling empty, because I was hoping that they would be more interesting, and it just wasn't, and I was so mad. And a lot of his books are like that, like, not a lot, but some of his books are like that. They just kind of miss the mark, or they kind of, like, I like the ones that I don't expect anything, and most of his books I don't expect the ending, but I like the ones where I don't expect anything, and I'm like, oh shit, that makes sense, duh, why didn't I think of that? Not, really? I'm getting rid of Robert Heinlein's Time Enough for Love. I don't know why this is on my shelf. And then Prime Evil. I think I got this because I got it for free, but it had Stephen King, and the lady bought it for that reason. But I don't really intend to read it anytime soon. Woman on the Edge, another by Sarah Parchesley. Sudden Prey by John Sanford. The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. While H.G. Wells can keep my interest, I don't have any interest in reading this one. Christopher Wright's Light Before the Day. The Humanity Project by Jean Thompson. James Patterson's Judge and Jury. Kevin O'Brien's Left for Dead. I like the video game. Soul Shifts by Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. I was doing a Facebook thing where you sent free books to people, and this was sent to me, and it's about, I don't know, I'm not really interested in this at all. I mean, I'm sure that person was interested, but I wasn't. Okay, 4 more, I swear. This is already 25 minutes long. Peter Hamilton's The Dreaming Void. Mary Higgins Clark, Nighttime is My Time. Neanderthal by John Darnton. And Mary Higgins Clark, Two Little Girls in Blue. So, those are the ones I'm unhauling. I'm going to try to give these to The library, hopefully, some of them obviously they won't take because they're not in decent condition, but I'm hoping they'll take at least some of them. I'm only getting rid of 3 of them, or a couple of them, because I have read them and it didn't hold my interest and I have no intention of reading them again. And a couple of, most of them are just because they're there because I got them for free and they're honestly taking up room on my bookshelves. Then I have no intention of reading them, and honestly I have enough books on my bookshelf to keep me busy for a while, and I just added, as you saw, a crap ton more. I did the math, and if I am counting correctly, I have almost 200 and almost 300 books on my bookshelf, and out of that 300 I've only read 50. So honestly, if I'm not going to read something, I should just take it off of my shelf and find a home for somebody who would read it, or donate to the library, especially books like Twin Maker, which are hardcover, for them to do with what they will, where they can sell it, or, you know, put them in their book thing, or in their in the library so people can borrow them. I'm sure these are somebody else's cup of tea. I know that James Patterson and Mary Higgins Clark are have huge followings. I'm not part of that following. And yeah, so what book should I look at if I haven't already looked at them? What book should I reconsider keeping if it's in that book, in my Unhaul? What book should I read first from all of those books, though I'm pretty sure I know what the winner is going to be. What books do you recommend that I buy next? Which I should put myself on a book ban, but we know that's not going to happen. Yeah, and that's it. Thanks for watching if you stuck with me this full 27 minutes, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!